Hello. It is 5:39, and this is Dirty Trucking with a rideshare dilemma. Oh man, I told you so far this year I've had two individuals contact me through the Uber app, and their mission was to attempt to steal money from me. The first guy who did it back in the beginning part of the year was not successful, only because the call dropped, and then I ended up contacting Uber support, and they were aware of this guy and told me not to talk to him. I'm like, you a little bit late for that. I think that would be information they should have sent out to the drivers to let them know that somebody was going around doing that. And then this recent incident when I was out in Pontiac, the guy he actually attempted to take the money, because he got further than the other guy, because I actually gave him the card number, but I blocked the card, so he wasn't able to get anything. But he attempted to take $125, $50, and $75 through the Apple Pay. But Uber claims to have these protocols that they are implementing to make the drivers more safe. They come out with this new verified procedure where they're supposed to be verifying the riders, and the word verify to be under their name, meaning they have somehow verified their information. How they do that, I don't know. Maybe they have them send in the driver's license with a picture. But what the riders are now doing, instead of putting those silly names on there that I was seeing, now they're just putting words like work or something that just ain't even a name, a legal person name. It's not even their initials. It's nothing. They're just putting just anything up there now. Nothing that is on their driver's license. And there are still a lot of them that have not been verified. And then there are ones that are still requesting rides for somebody else. So that's another problem. You may be verifying the one who has the app, but what if that rider requests a ride for somebody else who hasn't been verified? So we still in the same dilemma. And then I just recently, yesterday, there was a rider come across, had initials on there. I think it was CJ or TJ, something like that. It was just initials. And I saw the word verified under it. So you verified a rider with initials who put their initials on there. Now, that could mean that they somehow on the back end, in the background, verified who they were somehow with the information they typed in, and then allowed them to put initials up there. But for the safety of the driver, I don't think that's safe. Something happened to you, or an assault, or an attack, or anything that, who am I going to tell the law enforcement? The initials was CJ, and it was verified. Well, they can't write down CJ because they're going to ask me who the hell is CJ. That's not a legal name, because we usually don't have their first and last name on there. Some people put it on there depending on their name, but the majority of everybody usually just put their first name on there. And until I got in this rideshare, I didn't realize how many people who do not use their legal name when they're conducting business, especially with this rideshare. Why you don't want nobody to know who you are? Somebody got to know who you are. When you get into somebody's car and you're strangers, you're a stranger, get into a stranger's car. I really don't want to look on the app and see I'm picking up verified CJ. Who the hell is CJ? So if something go down, I get robbed or something, I'm going to tell law enforcement, CJ robbed me. And now, which they're going to have to do anyway, they're going to have to contact Uber and go through the protocol to find out who CJ is. So now, they're contacting Uber and asking who is CJ, instead of who is so-and-so, to give them a first name to match up with an account. This is like, I don't understand. At this point, everybody should be made to be verified. I think all riders should be made to upload their driver's license with their photograph to verify who they are. Like they do the drivers, when they're putting in for Uber. They make us upload our driver's license and then take a picture of ourselves. They need to do that with these riders. They need to make them upload their form of ID with their photograph. And maybe that's what they're doing on the verified end. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. They may already be doing that. But I seen some stuff come across here. I mean, how the hell are you verifying initials? And I'm looking at this, shaking my head. I'm getting tired of it. And then you talk safety of the drivers. That's not safe. Somebody with initials getting in the car. I picked up a guy yesterday on the app. It said work. Then I picked up somebody else from, I think it was a hospital. The hospital scheduled it. They had on there medical. That's all they had, medical. They didn't have a rider name, nothing. Medical. Who the hell am I picking up? I'm picking up medical. Anybody can walk up here and say they CJ. Are you CJ? And even the ones that don't, a lot of them do not put the names of the rider that they have scheduled a ride for to be picked up. So now I get the name, like for example, Bridget. I get maybe a guy come to the car. You Bridget? It wasn't that Bridget scheduled it. But Bridget didn't put your name as you being picked up. So I'm looking for a verified Bridget to come to the car, but verified Bridget scheduled for Tom or John or James to come to the car. You see what I'm saying with this? How is that safe? I mean, you don't have the necessary protocols in place. You think you do. Everything this company do far as it's supposed to be for safety of the drivers, these riders are defeating it. I mean, they just put anything on the goddamn app. How do you get away with putting medical on there? Now, I believe they said they have an option somewhere on there where you can put a nickname or something on there, because that's part of the problem. I don't know your nickname. I don't do nicknames. And medical is not a legal name. Now, but you tell people that they're supposed to put their legal name on there, but then you gave them an option for them to put this bullshit on there. I'm like, medical? Who's medical? I don't know medical. You coming in my car with this crazy ass shit. Dude, and they playing games with me through what I do for work. And it's been going on. And I'm sick of it. That's why these stupid names is coming to the car. CJ and medical and work. That's why all this weird shit coming to the goddamn car. It don't make no damn sense. There's nowhere in the world you conduct a business out here with all the safety and hazards that's involved with being a rideshare driver that you do not crack down on these riders putting these inappropriate names on here, or not putting their legal name, or not putting a name on here to where we know that who we addressing when we get in the car, and not making it mandatory that if you putting this ride for somebody else, that you put that person's ride on there. But I mean, we left out in the open. Anybody can come to this damn car, because the first thing I say, you for Bridget, they can say, yeah, and just get in the car and just ride. I don't know who they are. And then I won't find out the wrong person's in the car until Uber tell me something. But I haven't had that happen yet. No, yes I did. I did have a rider that I was supposed to pick up, got in the wrong car. He got in the car that was in front of me. That was for the rider that was actually came to my car. I did have that happen. And that happened because that driver probably did not ask to drive the rider's name to let him know he was in the wrong car. See, that's why I ask people their name. But I'm saying this, I'm regurgitating all this shit because I was driving today. They like to run me to these auto plants, and here lately is General Motors. Dropped a young lady off at General Motors over in Hamtramck. And after I dropped her off, all of a sudden the app sends a message through the app, said we're periodically going to ask you to take a picture of yourself to verify your account. This your account. After two motherfuckers then called through your app, pretending to be personnel with Uber, you gonna send me a message that you gonna periodically ask to take pictures. This company, first of all, what I'm sick of, this company is taking way too many motherfucking pictures of me. Requesting too many pictures of me when I started the app up. It was to one point that if I cut the app off and go take a break somewhere and cut it back on, they wanted a picture. Sometimes I'd had it happen twice in a day. It's too many times. I just took a picture about 2-3 days ago. Now you requested a picture now. I cut the app off because I'm tired of tolerating the bullshit. You know, I'm getting sick of this. You understand? I'm sick of it. It's a bunch of nonsense. You ain't verifying nobody. You ain't protecting nobody. You ain't doing nothing but you're using your app as an I don't want to say an invasion of privacy, but it's some sort of intrusion. Because what are you doing with these pictures of me? Why are you asking for what the fuck kind of driver do you think I am? Motherfucker, I hold a CDL. I'm a semi-truck driver. I done retired out the industry. What do you think I'm doing? Allowing others to drive and make earnings through my app? No. Uber does that. You allow people to do that because you did it with your Uber Eats. When I was at home, ordered an Uber Eats from the Chinese restaurant, a male showed up when the picture showed a female. So, in my eyes, Uber should be sending this message to their own goddamn self. I'm getting sick of this shit. Because every time they send that message, I got to stop somewhere to take a photo. Take my glasses off, take the photo, so I can go back on the app. You interrupted my day. Every time they do that shit, I got to pull over somewhere to go take a goddamn picture. Who the fuck do you think is driving the goddamn car? I'm telling you, I'll be glad the day that I finally come across something I can do that's going to generate that income that I'm looking for. I'm 54 and still looking for that damn income that I'm looking for. To where I can get these people out of my goddamn business. I'm tired of it. I'm making pennies here when I should be making bank. It's then on top of that, you got people using your app to rip the drivers off. And the people, I don't know if I put this in a video, what I discovered, what they're doing. Those individuals, those two individuals that got in contact with me, had to be the individuals that scheduled the pickup. So this is what they did on the first incident. Remember when I told you back at the beginning of the year, I got lured to one of those high-end mansion homes down there in Grosse Pointe. We talking decent people with some, we talking rich folks. Rich. Furs, all bling bling, all that. That's what we talking about. Live in Grosse Pointe. So I get lured over there, and I'm going my way there. And it's the first time I've ever seen a trip come up that didn't have an address. It didn't have a physical number address. It had a street. So the guidance guided me there. It was a dead-end street over there in Grosse Pointe. 3 houses on the end. One in front of me, one at the end, one behind me. Like a little circle. So I'm sitting there waiting on somebody to come out. I'm just refreshing your memory on that incident. And next to you, while I'm sitting here, I get a text message through the app. All of this is being done through the Uber driver's app. I use the driver's app. The riders use the rider's app. There's 2 different apps. You got the driver's app and you got the rider's app to request a ride. This is happening to me through the driver's app. So I get a message telling me that the rider wanted me to contact him. That's the scam. So when I call the number, this guy gets on the phone pretending he was Uber support and needed to verify who's making all these earnings. That was his skit. That was his skit that he was using to keep me on the phone long enough to get enough information he needed to try to get into my bank account. But at the time, I'm thinking it's Uber support because it came through the app. Because Uber support comes through the app. Everything they do is through the app. The riders get in contact with us through the app. Everything is through the app. So, this guy knew everything about the car, blah, blah, blah. Talking about he needed verify the phone. He called the phone. He talking about, I see you qualified for a bonus. That was what he was finna use to get my banking information to get into the account. And I kept telling him this don't sound right, but I think shoot, act of God intervened because his call kept dropping. When it dropped the first time, I was able to call him back. But then when it dropped the second time, I took another ride. He always want to be offline. They always start their skit. I need you to be offline. So he started skit over, and then it call dropped again. That's when I got in contact with Uber support, and they got enlightened with this information. I'm thinking then all this time I was somebody. It was a hacker. See, at the time I believed it was a hacker. How do you get in the Uber app and you're able to contact me through the goddamn app? I mean, you had to be a hacker. That's what I thought it was until it happened again in Pontiac just recently. I'm on my way to pick up a rider. 2 minutes from the ride, I get a call from somebody claiming they work for Uber, the update team, talking about they update the maps. Told me, am I offline? I said, no, matter of fact, I'm on my way to pick up a rider. He said, you can go and cancel that. We're going to compensate you for it. Same thing the first guy was talking about, what he going to compensate me for. And then this guy goes into his skit. This guy goes into his skit, and it's the exact same skit, but he got to use something different to talk about to get to the money. He used something different. So, which is making me believe this guy may have been a rider in my car, because the app has been going haywire. Uber has not fixed it. I've complained about it. I've never seen an app doing what this is doing. It's spinning, talk about GPS signal loss. It loses where it's at. It's just twirling all up and down, sliding all over the place. I've never seen a GPS do what Uber's GPS is doing. And so this guy would make me think he may have been a rider, because I be telling the passengers this app has been acting up. I noticed it started doing what it's doing now the first week of August. That weekend of August 10th, I went to the Ribbon Soul Festival. So when I came back that Monday, now Friday was the last day, I seen it working normally like it normal does. All this stuff wasn't going on. I took those 2 days off, came back that Monday. And then all this was going on, and it's been going on. And they done done at least, I think 3 updates so far. They just recently did another update yesterday. And I had to uninstall the whole goddamn app, because whatever that update was, it messed the app up. And I think these people are getting into my phone through these updates. So, and it's leading me to believe that this shit is some inside shit going on here. Because it's happening too much. 2 times in the same goddamn year? Come on now. Happened back in, I believe that was, I want to say March or April. What's this? May, June, July, August, September. 5 months later, I get in contact by somebody else running this same skit. Talking about he need to verify my phone number. No, they need to verify your phone number, because I need to know where they plugging this shit in at. He plugging this shit in somewhere, because he needed my phone number. He needed to verify my phone number. I verified the phone number. While I'm doing that, he on his end doing something to where he tells me I'm going to get a code. And the code came from my bank. And he's telling me, because I'm answering him. I said, if you're doing an update, what you need my banking information? So he had that skit already ready, because we're going to pay you $85.24 for your inconvenience, because the update is going to take an hour. That's what he said. Update's going to take an hour. I said, oh, you should have said that at first. $85.24. Well, okay then. I'm going along with him. I know there's some bullshit. I know it is. I kept telling him. I said, man, look here. We just went through this back at the beginning part of the year, and it turned out to be a hacker calling the drivers. We done just went through this. I'm telling you. He reassured me that ain't him. He gave me some name, who he is, because I told him. I said, would you mind if I get Uber support on the phone? while you're on the phone to verify who you are. Oh, if you need to be me verify myself, I can give you my name and my badge number, which I guess is an employee number, what do you want to call it? My name, and he gave me a name and probably fake badge number. Then went to telling me if you're going to go getting third parties involved and connecting them, is I can't complete the process that I need to complete to get you paid your $85.24. You know, then he just called himself having a clever answer for everything. But way he fucked up was that after he asked for the email, and then he said he gonna get he need to verify my number. So he said I'm gonna receive a code. So I got the code and gave him the code. And then after that, it was quiet. And the other guy did the same thing. See, when they get quiet, they doing what they doing on their end. And I heard him whispering to somebody. But it's quiet. I'm sitting here to where it almost make you think the call had dropped, but it didn't. And I'm like, hello, hello, hello. The same with the other guy. Call dropped. But this one, it didn't drop. He just got quiet. And then he comes back to the phone. Hello, can you hear me now? Playing like something was wrong with the phone, the reason why I couldn't hear him. But it wasn't. He was doing what he was doing on his end, still trying to get into my account, my account. So, talking about he needed my card number. I don't know how he had the first four of the goddamn card number. And I'm wondering, I mean, where did you get that from? So now I started thinking, you must be somebody, maybe a remote worker working for the company, either through the rental service, Hertz, or either Uber itself. At home, you may be one of those remote workers that answer the calls for the drivers. Because how did you know the first four? My only information that is available on the Riders app to the rider that the passenger we're picking up is the face of the driver, the color of the car, the make of the car, and the license plate of the car. That's it. You don't get my debit card information. That's not on there. I'm like, where did he get this from? So he gave me the first four. And then I said, what you need this for? If you're doing an update, you know, what you need my banking for? Then he goes back to, because I'm going to have to manually upload your $85.24 to your account. And I'm like, okay, I know this is bullshit. So I gave him the full card number. I'm sitting there, I'm going along with this little bullshit. I gave him the card number. And then he come back, he doing something on the computer after I gave him the code. And then he tells me the computer asked him to ask me if I had more than $100 in my account. I said, now this is where he fucked up at. This is where he fucked up. Right here. When he told me that after putting in my information, the computer asked him to ask me. These are the questions that came up. He said this question came up to ask me if I had more than $100 in my account. I said, you don't need to know that if you're doing an update. And you damn don't need to know that if you was paying me $85.24. Where now you're trying to find out how much is in my account. So I'm going to say the answer is no. And then he's going to tell me, well, if this answer is wrong, I can't complete the process. I said, I told you the answer is no. And then after he did that and said that, I said, let me tell you something. I had already told him I live downtown near the FBI building and gave him that warning. I said, let me tell you something. If you're not legit, I'm going to file a report against you with the FBI. All of a sudden I heard click. So I'm telling all this again because right now, after I dropped that passenger off at General Motors in Hamtramck, all of a sudden the app sends me a little message down there in the little rectangle box telling me we're going to periodically ask to take a picture of you. You ain't never sent no message before you do that. You've been taking pictures of me too much since I've been here. They keep taking pictures of me. What are you doing? That's what's making me believe this is an inside operation going on here. So right now, after I get off with this video, I got to go on here and take a photo of myself before I can go back on the app. Because they're going to periodically ask for pictures. They asking for pictures too goddamn much here. And I'm getting tired of this company asking for pictures. I don't ride nobody in this car. Talking about you need to take a picture of me to verify my account. What? You can't even verify that you ain't even verify how these riders is using your app to rip the goddamn drivers off. That's why I believe this is an inside job. Now you want to talk about verifying my account, and they better be real careful with that shit after what just happened up there in goddamn Pontiac. Now you talking about verifying my motherfucking account. I don't know who this motherfucking message came from. Like I said, this individual either had to be a rider in this car, and now that I remember back, I forgot to put something in that video. I think I forgot to put this in there. The first number the guy called me from that did this little skit again at Pontiac, he called me from a 312 phone number. Told me, hold on, I got to call you from another number. This is my personal cell phone, and they don't like me using my cell phone. Personal number for this. So he hangs up and called back 1 minute later with another number. But the number, the 312 number, looks familiar. Now, I told you this happened to me back early part of the year. And I can't remember if that was a 312 number, and I'm hoping I got it written down somewhere to match it up. Because if it's the same number, they're using the same number. But when I did a reverse search of that number, it was to a Mexican guy in California. But the guy that was talking on the phone was not Mexican. He sounded like a brother. But I bring that up about his phone number that he said was his personal cell phone because on my phone, the two numbers he called from had the check mark, green check mark by it, saying it had been verified. And now, Uber, you used to have the words in green up under the numbers, the name saying they've been verified. But after I made that video talking about it was in green, they have since changed that. It's in black and white. Verified is in the word black and white, and they got a little star in blue on the side of it. They changed the color immediately after I uploaded the video. So that's how I know the individual is watching the social media. The motherfucker is on the social media, and he's watching and listening and taking notes of everything I say, and been playing games because of what I doing on social media. So I'm talking directly to you. I know you on here. I know you playing games because of this shit that I've been putting on social media. You've been on my site. You've been watching what I'm telling. And then you've been out here playing games. And then when I say what you doing to get them to catch your ass, you going around undoing what I said. The words were in green. It said verified in green under their name. Now it's in black and white with a blue star on the side of it to say they verified now. All that changed right after I posted that video saying it was in green. Just that quick. So now, that let you know my site is being watched by that motherfucker doing the criminal activity. So, back to the phone number. It came up 2 green check marks, which let me know that these were Uber riders. They had to be Uber passengers because they verify them with the green, it was the green words. So it had the word verify. When I clicked on it to see why the little green check was on there, it said number been verified. I said, okay, so this got to be an Uber passenger. Both of the phone numbers that he used had the green check mark by it. Said they had been verified. But it was that first number he used. So I clicked on both of the numbers on my phone. That 5 number didn't come up as being contacting my phone at all, except that day it contacted me. But the 312 number, when I clicked on it, my phone said that phone number had called me on August 4th, and it was a missed call. On August 4th, that phone number that this motherfucker ran his little skit with in Pontiac had called my phone on August 4th. So he didn't try to contact me prior. But the only thing I remember happening round back in August, I can't pinpoint the date. I had 2 Africans in this car. And one of them called me when I was at home. And I believe it was a missed call. I'm not sure. I'm kind of fuzzy on that. But anyway, there was a message left that he had left his wallet in the car. So I go out and check. There's no wallet in here. And I remember him. He had on gray pants, no pockets in the back. You didn't drop no wallet in his car. But I was wondering how he was able to call my phone directly, because once I swipe you out of here, you can't go back in the app and get in contact with me directly without contacting Uber. And he called from some 3-something number. There was 2 Africans in his car, and both of them looked shady as hell. I wouldn't be in a house alone with them motherfuckers at all. Because I remember one of them was having a conversation with a girl trying to get her over there. And she kept saying she was busy. She had something to do. I'll contact you later. But I was looking at both of these guys. I'm like, I wouldn't be alone in neither one of them house because you look like you may go in, but you ain't fucking coming out. I can tell you that now. That's the way them two guys look. And I'm not kidding on that shit. So, now remember, he called from a 3-something number. So, I don't know if it's and it was two guys. They were two African guys. But now, I don't know if one of them pretended he was LGBTQ. I don't even know if it was them or not. But all I know, I done got 2 calls from two different people trying to get in my account. The first one, it didn't work. But the second one, he made the attempt to take $125 total through Apple Pay. Sent, because my bank said, did you authorize a $50 and a $75? No. I had already locked my card by then, so he couldn't get it. And I think these are writers because, and I say that because now that I think about it, because like I said, the first time I thought it was a hacker. These are writers. They are actually scheduling these rides. And this guy waited 2 minutes before I was getting close to the pickup because he was following me on the app. Because he the one scheduled the ride. So he had to be out in the Pontiac area when I was out there. He scheduled the ride. And then called me before I got to the ride, the pickup, and started his little skit. But then he told me I need to be offline and go ahead and cancel the ride. And I didn't cancel it yet. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm sending a message to the rider because I like to let them know. I told you, I was 2 minutes from turning the corner to pick the rider up. And I would like to let the rider know why I'm now having to cancel their ride and I'm down here at the end of the block. I'm 2 minutes away. So I'm sending him a message. He said, you don't have to do that, just hit cancel. I said, no, I'm sending him a message. I put in the message that Uber update, then contacted me. They need to do an update to the maps. I have to go offline. Sorry. Something like that. And I told him that. So the message that I believe I sent, who I thought was sending to the rider, it was the rider. It was the rider was the motherfucker that was calling me. It was the rider through the Uber rider app that set this whole thing up. The same with the one over there in Grosse Pointe. He set up a pickup. This one waited till I got there and then texted me through the app to contact him. Now, this one in Pontiac, he set up this pickup. Waited 2 minutes before I got there and then called me while I was en route to tell me to go offline, that he gonna compensate me and blah, blah, this and for the ride, and then I'm gonna get that $85. All this is skit shit. But now, he go Uber. I got to periodically take pictures. Motherfucker, I ain't no model. You ain't paying me for these pictures. What you doing with these goddamn pictures you taking? Because you taking too many of them. All right, this dirty truck, and I done talked 32 minutes. Let me go ahead and get over here. I just want to put that out there because I'm tired of this old shady ass shit going on in this company, and I can't wait till I can figure out what I need to do to get the fuck out of here. Because I don't deal with this kind of shit. There's too much shady ass shit going on, and I believe it's all internal, and it's with these riders getting in this goddamn car. But what I can't figure out is what the fuck was he putting my information in on his end that generated some code for him to get into my goddamn bank account. Did you had a computer set up, you in a room? Because it was quiet on his end. You couldn't hear shit in the background. But I heard him talking to somebody. He was whispering to somebody. It's Dirty Trucking now.